It's nice and sunny. Hi guys, it is 2020, the shocking and weird 2020. You should have seen by now on my channel, on this very channel, all the other videos from last year. So I finally got them all edited, they're all out. The last thing you saw is my Cambodia vlog and me traveling back to Germany. That was early December. So since then, a lot has happened and I would like to talk you through a little bit of what happened. Okay, when I came back, I first spent a little bit of time in Hanover at my brother's place, staying there, ran a couple of errands. I then traveled on to Prague. So the EPT was on in Prague. I didn't play any poker really. I was just there to network. Having just started my business, it was good to be there, show my face and network, meet people, all that kind of stuff. I did produce some content, but I got really sick. So I got a virus. It was too early for Corona, so it wasn't Corona. It was some kind of really bad flu virus. And I was just coughing my lungs out and it was horrible and I was in a bad mood and I couldn't do what I wanted to do. So the whole Prague thing was very draining. But I give you a quick impression of what that looked like in Prague.
Oh, come on. Hello.
And yeah, so when I came back from Prague, I actually went to a school reunion, and not just any, it was the 20th reunion. So 20 years out of school. Yeah, yes, I'm old. And it was really weird and really fun at the same time to go back to the school that I went to, meet a couple of people. I obviously didn't recognize many of them. I actually accidentally hugged the new principal because I thought it was one of my former co-students. All right, then I spent like the holidays with family in Germany. So the whole of January I was in Hanover. I was running errands, I was doing doctor visits and all that kind of stuff, you know, that you need to do and just tick off when you live around the whole world and when you're back in your home country. So I did that. Then I got an invite to do a live commentary on a poker event in Czech Republic at the King's Casino. And it's the first time ever I've done something like that, and it was very exciting. So I traveled down from Hanover to Nuremberg, then got a shuttle that transported me to just across the Czech border to King's Casino. And I was doing commentary in a tiny little booth all by myself on a game that I wasn't too familiar. I'm familiar with Pot Limit Omaha, that's the variant, but having to commentate on it was very rough. And then It was the first time as well, and it ended up being a massive like marathon stream. So I was like for 16 hours by myself in that thing. So it was quite rough, but it was a really good experience, and it was obviously a paid job, so really cool. And I will come back to that because it did help me get another gig like that later. Yeah, and then I traveled to Berlin, which was supposed to be just a stop before my other travels continued. But in Berlin, I obviously did some filming as well for So Much Poker. I, met some people, did some networking, met some friends, and so on and so forth. And Berlin, I have to say, really is a much cooler city than I should admit as a Hamburger. Yeah, and then from Berlin, I took a flight to Tallinn in Estonia. The original plan was to go to Tallinn and then traveled through the Baltics and Eastern Europe all the way to Vienna in early May. So I had how much was it then? 3 months to travel from through all those countries and explore a lot of new countries, do some filming, do some other stuff, do vlogging. And well, I was in Tallinn, and then I got a message that I got invited back to the King's Casino to do some more commentary. So I was only there for 1 day in Tallinn, and then they flew me back, and I was actually in King's and doing some commentary there. What happened there was then, besides the commentary, which was really fun, I met a potential new customer, or client, let's say, and that client then later invited me to come to Germany to have a meeting to see if I will work with them. So I flew back to Tallinn. I had a couple of days there that I went to do some sightseeing. I got a lumbago, which was absolutely painful and horrible, and I felt bad. But I got some stuff done. I got some things filmed. Got a lot of nice impressions of Tallinn, and then I basically traveled back to Germany instead of going to Latvia, which would have been next. But then in Germany, I had that meeting in Bonn with the guys from DTO Poker, and it turned out, okay, I'm going to work with them as a consultant, basically, and assistant. And that's when Corona hit. So instead of going back then and continuing my travels, I was in Germany. I wanted to do my birthday anyway in Hanover, but then the birthday was just, well, a bit of a sad birthday, 23rd of March. So nobody really was there, but my brother and his wife made a really nice birthday for me, at least, in-house. So yeah, and then lockdown began. So in total, I was 2 months basically at my brother's place. And by the end of it, I got really depressed. So it was really rough for me because I do belong to the risk group, right? So I have multiple sclerosis, so I'm more likely to catch a virus, and I have asthma. So if I catch it, it will be quite rough on me, on my body. So it was quite a scary time, and I didn't really want to leave the house. But that then in retrospect, caused me to be very depressed, right? So the good thing was, all that time that I spent indoors, I just worked my ass off. And in the end, May actually turned out to be the most successful month financially that I had so far in my self-employment life. So at least that did something. And luckily, because I work in the poker world and the poker world is booming in this crisis, I did have enough work to do. So that was quite okay. So as soon as you could really start traveling again, I made sure that I did. So now knowing that I can't really travel internationally, I went to Cologne, because in Cologne were a couple of potential business partners that I had to meet anyway. So that was the plan all along, to go back there and to Bonn. Bonn didn't work out, so I was in Cologne, met a couple of business partners there, and actually had a lot of good stuff coming out of it. And then I traveled to Emden in Germany, so to the very northwest corner of Germany, because it's the start of a new project. And yeah, so basically the decision was to say, I can't really travel internationally right now, so I will travel along the German borders. Germany is bordering 9 countries, so travel along that and collect impressions, collect stories, tales, fairy tales, and all kinds of things that are interesting in those areas, because I always wanted to explore Germany a little more, and this is now a really good time to do so. So I decided to do this for the rest of the year and travel along the borders of Germany, hoping that after Christmas I can then go to Southeast Asia, and hopefully there's a vaccine and all that, because it's still the same. I mean, obviously I could just go and fly to Thailand, because life would be just a third of the cost that I have here. So it's quite rough, because I have to earn quite a bit to afford this kind of thing, traveling around Germany. While if I do the same in Asia, I have to, life is just cheaper there. But even if I would do that, even if I fly there, I'm still quite worried that I could catch the virus and could be very heavily hit by that. So I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to stay in Germany until after Christmas or the New Year, and then travel to Asia again. So rest of this year, 2020, I will travel around Germany, literally around Germany. So I started in the northwest in Emden. So I went all the way to the border to Holland and took a video there. And then I spent some time in Emden. Now I'm back in Hanover because I have to run some errands once again. So because a lot of the official government places opened back up, so I have to go and do some things there, and have some doctor's visits and stuff. And then I'll go back to Emden next week and then officially start that journey. So you're all caught up now. You're all caught up, and I hope you stay with me, because this is going to be quite interesting. You're going to see a lot of Germany. I'm excited because, as I said, like, Germany is an interesting place, and unfortunately in school we usually learn only about one thing: Second World War. That's it, right? And that's usually what other people in the world learn as well: Second World War. And that's it, But in fact, this is a very old place, and there's a lot of history here. So I'm looking forward to actually going through that, telling some stories, some myths, some whatever I find on the way, some legends, and share that with you guys. But the main project is going to be on a new channel in German. So it's called Schön Sonnig, which basically is nice and sunny. And that's where the detailed videos about those stories will be. But I will keep you up to date in English as well. And it's more like a documentary, behind the scenes kind of thing in English of the actual content I'm producing in German. Right. That's it for this week. I'm talking about that. I am not sure if there's going to be weekly vlogs. It really depends on how much time I got to edit something like this. Because now that I'm self-employed, obviously it's quite difficult to justify sitting and editing videos for a couple of hours when I could use that time to actually earn money. So the videos will come when they come. They probably won't be in a weekly fashion as before. And what I can promise instead, though, there will be a few more shorter videos, a bit more about things about the nomad life, the minimalism life, interesting little stories that I see, some learnings from places I went to, and so on and so forth. So there will be stuff coming, but the vlogs might not be as frequent as they were last year. That's it. So see you then. Bye!